thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be back in Minneapolis. It's a great club. I've been all over the Midwest lately on my Does This Even Count as a Show tour. Performing in front of tens of racist people in a lot of cabin-themed bars. So, upgrade. Big upgrade for me this evening. I don't mean to brag or anything, but a few weeks ago I got to perform in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Yeah, bombed in that goddamn bowling alley. You have to travel through a lot of small towns in Wisconsin to get to the metropolis of Sheboygan. I feel like the slogan for every small town in Wisconsin should just be "as seen on Netflix." Because holy shit, there's a lot of name recognition on that drive, you guys, and not for anything good. Right? Making a murderer, serial killer documentaries on Ed Gein, Jeffrey Dahmer. I feel like everyone in Wisconsin can play the game 6 Degrees of Someone Cook Like Bacon. I think that's why cheese is so popular, is because they know it's for sure the one thing that doesn't contain people. Cheddar's safe. I like to tease the Wisconsinites, but they're good people, you know? They're the kind of folks that would give you the skin off your back. And that's why I mentioned Jeffrey Dahmer in there. There's a movie on Amazon Prime right now. It's about Jeffrey Dahmer. It takes place when he was in high school. So early Dahmer, which if you got to be a fan, go with the early stuff. Hands down. Later work a little off the rails for me. To each his own. I say go with the early work. It's a pretty good movie. It's a dark comedy. It's called My Friend Dahmer. Yeah. It's kind of like Marley and Me, but everyone else dies. Switcheroo with that. It's a good movie, but I feel like they really missed an opportunity with that title, you know? Because how do you make a movie about that guy and not call it Dumb and Dahmer? Like, I got Jim Carrey, laugh a minute till the eating starts. It would have been something. I follow the news pretty closely. I'm a pretty big news junkie, which I think is the worst kind, because at least regular junkies will chase stuff that makes them feel good. Right? Like even heroin addicts get to be chill once they get their heroin. I assume. I don't know. It seemed pretty content on intervention when that happens. I've never seen someone that's addicted to heroin get their heroin and then like, but what else is out there? Like, no, they're content. They're content with the H. It's hard to follow the news. A lot of it's really depressing. A lot of comics talk about depression on stage. I think it's the wrong people that get depressed. You know, because it always seems like it's the sensitive, well-intentioned, thoughtful people that seem to suffer from depression, right? It's never like a white supremacist. You know, it's just, those guys have too much get up and go for me. A little too much energy. I'll go on record, not sad enough as a group. The supremacists for this guy. But if you think about it, it would have to be pretty hard to be a depressed supremacist. You know? Like, white power, but not for me. I haven't earned it. I don't know. Maybe you guys. I just don't feel better than anyone right now. I ate way too many cookies today to feel superior to anyone. I get the marches today. Oh, I don't want to leave my bed. I'm not going to lie. Maybe I could just take like a white power nap for 20 minutes and contribute to the... Nope, okay, worth a shot. I'd love to go, but I haven't done laundry in a month. None of these sheets are rally-worthy. I can't wear them to the rally. They got stains on them. I was going to chocolate stain. What kind of message is that going to send? I show up to the rally with a chocolate stain. They're going to laugh at me. It's not good. I guess I'm just not feeling okay, KK, right now. My favorite news story of this past year was the ISIS bride story. I don't know if you guys got this. A few years ago, a girl ran away from this country to go join ISIS on tour. And, this was back when they were together. I think they've since broken up. A lot of solo work now, but at the time, heavy touring as a group. She ran away to join them. And I couldn't believe it when I first heard the story. I was like, oh, why would anyone want to leave this country to go live and be with ISIS? And then I read the article, and it turns out the girl's from Alabama, so that answered that question, right? Yeah, ISIS, way more pro-choice. Even adults, late term ISIS is still pretty on board with it. Oh, man, that was an insane law they passed, right? To me, the most insane part of that Alabama law was that apparently, if it does go through, any doctor that's caught performing an abortion can be sent to prison for up to 99 years, which is frightening. It would be more, but that's where most Alabamans lose count. So, that third digit's a bitch, I don't care who you are. That's some tricky stuff. And don't get me started on geometry, that's the devil's math, so I'll bring that in here. I don't know, I think maybe Alabama should try carrying an education a term. How about, learn some science, it's frightening.